Hi guys, I'm Dodge.
I'm Andy.
This is Bigmeks Workshop and Paint Studio, as you probably already know. And we got a nice package in the post yesterday.
We did. We put the order in before, after the pre-orders, but we got it the other day.
One day we'll get it before everyone else.
But not this day. And that is the Death Guard, Codex, and the data cards.
I really like these. We'll cover them. Maybe do a mini video for those because we've got a lot to cover in this one.
Yeah. So we'll get straight on into the nuts and bolts of what we're talking about. You've probably seen the full reviews. We're not going to do that. We're going to do what we do.
We never do the full reviews. It's too mechanical and sort of this is now this. It's like what we want to talk about is what we think about the book as a whole and our opinions on it. I mean, this is why it's the Bantam and Brushes, guys. You get your chance to really have a say on the comments and.
Yeah, well, we're going to waffle about the stuff we like to talk about and what we find interesting in the book, and let you guys take it from there and say what you think. Yeah. So we'll make a start with the cover art.
I personally, I was the one who made the point of this.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with the cover art. Can we open up the book somewhere, please, Andy, and start looking at some of the other brilliant artwork they could have used?
Just that there. That's the first page.
Gorgeous.
It's absolutely superb.
What I don't like about the new art, I mean, Games Workshop have got their ways of doing things, but this sort of CGI, sort of rendered artwork, anyone who's played for a long time remembers the nitty gritty pen biro,
John Blanche.
Yeah. The old artwork with all the demons in it, I beheld the Lord of All and knew I was dead. The artwork was superb for that.
So we could have used this picture here, which would have been absolutely stunning for the front cover.
I just feel these new ones, they don't have the artist's personality
in
them as much as when someone gets a pen or a paintbrush and jots them down.
And there's a whole bunch of other options which we could have gone for, which would have been equally cool.
Can we find, before we move on, there's one of Mortarion, which is a massive purple-green one, and there's also one, it wouldn't work for this Codex, there's another one of him as well, where all the Plague Marines are running underneath him. It looks superb. Should have really put some post-it notes in this. One day we'll learn.
Yeah, we'll think about that next time, maybe.
There was also one full of Plague Bearers. That's the one. That would have made a brilliant cover art. That would have been spot on. Yeah.
These pictures, I mean, it's just a bit of a minor peeve on our part. So I totally agree with Dodge on the front cover. They could have put some of the more interesting stuff in and chose not to, which is totally their lookout.
Cool, isn't it?
Yeah, they chose that particular artwork. I think that would have been better as a small picture in the corner and use one of the more gritty photos.
That has a feel to it.
Yeah, use one of the more gritty photos to go on the cover because it really captures the style of
the Dark Millennium.
Of the Dark Millennium and the Death Guard in particular.
I think that's probably where the peeve comes from.
Yeah.
But ever since I was a kid, it was the dark, grim future.
Yeah.
And it seems to be getting polished and cleaned up, and it's like, you know, loving the game so far, doing great work there, Games Workshop with the game, but you can't have all this polished stuff in the grim darkness of the future.
Some of the stuff we're doing at the minute is a little bit shiny, and it don't belong in 4K.
But it kind of does rule-wise and everything. It just doesn't feel
the artwork,
quite the same.
The shiny. What I mean is the artwork is very shiny, very clean, and that doesn't belong.
Do you remember the borders for Mordheim in the old?
Oh, Mordheim brought fish everywhere and skulls and rats and all kinds of weird stuff going off.
I miss that. I think it's just a nostalgic sort of thing.
They have actually done it in places. They've got these sort of a rotty feel around the inside of on the edges of the paper, of the pages. So they've gone back to that sort of thing, really capturing the imagery, giving you a nice feel for the god. But yeah, the Mordheim was a particularly weird example because there was so much weird stuff in the pages.
It was a pleasure to turn the page and then not even be reading what's in it, just looking at the artwork.
There was one weird thing, and I think a friend of mine pointed out. Just about every page had a fish in it somewhere.
I never noticed that. I'll have
Yeah.
to see if I can find the old Troll magazines.
I don't know exactly if that's true. It's just something a friend of mine pointed out, and I've just mentioning Mordheim just reminded me of that. Now, that's just one of them weird things, and I know there is a lot of fish in that particular book, and I don't know why.
I wonder whatever happened to that game.
It just went away of Necromunda.
It did have some nice models in it.
That is very true. It did have some very cool things.
Okay, I think we ranted enough about the art. It was just one of my pet peeves. That would have been much better, in my opinion, on the front.
So, obviously, as is traditional with a proper codex, it's got loads and loads and loads of fluff, which is a big deal for me because I love fluff. I haven't had a chance to read it yet because we only got it yesterday and I weren't here.
And then I took it home.
And then Dodge took it home and probably didn't read it.
I read some of it. Sure, I looked at the pictures.
So it's just, but I'm going to answer the guess. A lot of it's going to be talking about the 13th Black Crusade or the Heresy era, and I'm really looking forward to getting a chance to read it actually because it's just something more.
Because it's a very particular codex for one unit. They've got spare pages in there, and it's like the old rule books. Sorry, I'm storing all of that. It's like the old rule books. Half of this book is fluff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to read the history and some of the other plague planets and all that.
Definitely, yeah. I'm really looking forward to having a chance to read through the background.
I don't know if you noticed, it's also laid out like some of the other old codexes where it's got a Hellbrute picture and then it's got a bunch of story and fluff for each category of each thing.
Yeah, I did notice that. When we got to the unit entries in the
not the stat line unit entries, but there's unit entries in the front.
What would be called the bestiary from years gone by.
Yeah.
There we go. So we've got a bit of artwork and a little bit of fluff about the sorcerers in this particular case, talking about what they do and how they do it, which
is how I think a codex should be laid out.
Yeah, but when they went away from the leaving fluff entries in a codex, I was really disappointed by that. I thought we were missing half of the codex. They did that a lot in the Orc Codex.
If you remember the 7th edition Orc, it was like, here's a picture of our product. Here's a stat line for it. It was like a magazine. Didn't like that.
They've gone back to having fluff entries again, which is a brilliant decision in my opinion, because that's that's a good half of what I love about 40k is the background.
It separates the game from being here's a bunch of guys on a board to here's a bunch of guys and I know their history and they've got depth to them.
Breathes a bit of life into the models.
It really does.
Right. Now I'm going to go off about one of the things what I found, and I find it a little bit irritating, which is the Chaos Sorcerer.
Does that say what the fuck next to the Sorcerer?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Chaos Sorcerer, brilliant in the Chaos Codex, makes absolutely no sense in this one. They have no additional options, apart from the option of a different weapon and a better gun. However, they get the same spells as a Malignant Plaguecaster without the benefit of Disgustingly Resilient or Toughness 5.
And that new ability that the Plaguecaster's got.
They have an additional ability as well for a cost of 6 points.
I mean, I worked out his entire points. The Malignant. I wish they'd stop making these things easy to say. For the Plaguecaster, he's only 110 points, and that's all his gear and everything.
He's 110 points straight off the bat. You can't give him out else. There's no need to. He's awesome. The Sorcerer starts out at 90 points,
Can
but
we
you have to
focus on that stat line? Well, just move it down a little bit for us, mate. In fact, up, because we'll be in the top corner. That's it. I'll try and focus on that. Sorry, guys.
The Sorcerer comes in at 90 points. Can have a combi weapon. Has to have a force weapon of some kind. Which means he's gonna be about 110 points. Well, about 114 points before you buy him a combi weapon. But he has to have spells from the same lore. Can't have a jump pack. Can't have anything above and beyond a Milgram Plaguecaster.
Are we just not saying that now?
We're not going to say it because it just doesn't roll off the tongue. It just doesn't seem to do anything what the Plaguecaster can't. Yeah, alright, it's got a better leadership and movement 6. Great. Yeah.
He's a sorcerer.
He's a single character, so leadership's largely irrelevant.
Yeah.
His movement 5, so he's the same speed as everybody else in the army.
And his toughness
and he's
4.
Yeah, and the Plaguecaster's a high toughness and got disgusting resilience. It's just, they didn't give the sorcerer enough options, enough versatility. They could have just left him with access to the standard Chaos Codex
Does
spells.
he have access to the artifacts?
Only insofar as you upgrade one of his items to it.
Why not just do that for the Plaguecaster though?
Exactly. So, to me, doesn't serve a purpose.
But at least Games Workshop's got all their, all their eggs in one basket for a change, and got all the rules there if you want them.
Yeah. If they'd have left him have access to the Heretic Astartes spells instead of the Contagion ones, that would have given you a viable option with more versatility. But they haven't. Now, obviously, the Sorcerer in Terminator armour, same as the other Sorcerer, but he's in Terminator armour. That makes a difference. He's in Terminator armour.
Yep.
So it makes him that bit tougher. Gets an extra wound. That makes sense as an option. But to be fair, I'd probably still go for the Plaguecaster anyway.
It's 110 points, couple of spells on him, he knows Smite.
And he's got disgusting resilience.
Disgusting resilience, extra toughness, and whenever he casts a warp charge, managed to, flip to him.
Flip to him. Each time this model successfully manifests a psychic power with a psychic test of 7 or more, the nearest enemy unit within 7 suffers a mortal wound after the effects. Now that's just brilliant. It's a freebie. Mortal wounds, dish
out. He's a
out.
sorcerer. He's going to be casting spells all the time, and he can cast 2.
Yeah.
So you technically, what you can basically do there is cause 2 mortal wounds.
For nothing.
For nothing.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you take him?
Yeah. It just doesn't make any sense.
Definitely going to change him out in the studio army now.
Yeah, we're not going to be using
Terminator sorcerer I had last time, he's gone.
Yeah, one of them instead. Cheaper, better. That's our view of it. What do you think, guys? Am I right on that, or am I missing a trick?
Maybe some of our fans have figured out a way to make that sorcerer really kick some ass.
Yeah. Am I missing something? Because I honestly ain't sure. But that's what we're asking you for. So, what do you think? What am I missing out on the Chaos Sorcerer?
I really don't think there is anything, because just scoping through it, we're not seeing much there that's different. I'm definitely going for the Plaguecaster now. Yeah,
I'd definitely go for that as well. And it's quite a cool fig.
He's quite a cool fig, actually.
Yeah.
His staff's quite interesting.
Yeah, and the sort of fire is kind of cool.
I've seen people paint that as fire or as smog, or I don't think anyone really knows what it is. It's got flies in it, so I don't think it's fire.
We'll just call it a burst of
I cast unpleasantness at you.
So we'll move on. That's enough ranting about the Plaguecaster, I think.
I think it was a valid point to make, though. The points difference, 6 extra points, and he's got those extra toughness and ability and disgusting resilient.
The Plague Marine entry, obviously, is the same one as the Chaos Marine book, with all the additional bells and whistles what you would expect. Obviously, this has been probably chatted to death. My personal favourite is the Flail of Corruption. I think that's a brilliant little item. But not on a Plague Marine.
What I like about the Plague Marines now is it's not just these two can have plasma guns anymore. There is so much at the bottom of the page that's like up to 2 can take this, 1 can take this, up to 2 can take this. Now instead of Plague Marines being like I have bolt gun and plague knife, you can
every model can
be
be
very diverse. You can
diverse, yeah,
very diverse, and you can actually start Games Workshop's opening up their codexes and their rules to allow you to play your army how you want to play it. Options are good. They're always good in a game.
And talking about options, the Death Guard book has got the most extensive elite section I've ever seen. They have 4 or 5 new characters. Yeah, 5 new characters.
The models look great, by the way.
All offering different utility to the army, which is great. These little individual dudes running around, doing their thing, being dirt cheap as well for a character option, really enables you to.
I can't wait for you to turn the page because I think that other guy, I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
The Tallyman.
It's really interesting though because it allows you to open up the elite formation very easily just by having a couple of these in on a character.
That's true. I mean, I wasn't expecting to see this much new stuff just thrown into that codex, and it's all very intriguing. And it's actually looking at the army we had on the last battle report. These bits were missing to make it really function. There's a lot of bubble effects.
They all do have their own little buffs. It's nice to see. You can get a decent image of it. That dude, Plague Surgeon, Chaos Marines, have now got an apothecary.
They should have had, really.
Which they should have had since day one.
It's like Games Workshop are filling in the blanks now.
Yeah. Works differently to a Loyalist one, as it should do.
Yep.
Makes your Marines additionally tough, which is going to be frustrating for the opponent. And makes them hit harder as well. He hits harder when fighting against Marines because he likes to steal bits off them.
Oh, that's the Gene Seed Thief, isn't it?
Yes, it's a rule called Gene Seed Thief. Add 1 to hit and wound for this model in a fight when targeting Adeptus Astartes or Bikers. Astartes Bikers. And obviously he's got all the standard bells and whistles what you'd expect from a Plague Marine.
Toughness 5, etc.
Yeah.
1 wound, no, 4 wounds.
4 wounds, because he's a single character and they're all really tough these days.
Does he have the Disgusting Resilient?
Yes, he does.
Of course he does. They've really pulled this together now.
Yeah.
Across the board in your army, everything's going to have almost the same sort of feel and look. There's less stats to remember, but there is individual little perks for different things, and they're going to be really important later on. This is one of my favourite new things.
Go for it then.
The Tallyman. Absolutely awesome. When using a command point, or any amount of command points or stratagems, roll a 2d6. On a roll of a 7, you regain your command points.
Which is just superb.
That is insane.
And he also does the same roll as the Chaplain as well. So you get your rerolls to hit.
Yeah. He's not got much else in the way of stuff, but
he doesn't need it.
He's a cool character. There's no bubble around him for that. It's just every time you do it when he's on the board.
Yeah. He doesn't have a particularly good gear. Doesn't need it. He's not there for his combat prowess. He's there because of the utility he offers. Now, you'll have all seen to death the Death Shroud Terminators. We're not going to talk about them because I think the other Terminators are much more interesting.
Well, there's much more you can add to them. I prefer the Death Shroud Terminators, but that's just me. I can't wait to get some on the battlefield.
The Death Shroud Terminators, I'm not going to lie, are hard as nails.
I haven't worked out the entire point cost of those yet, as a unit of 3.
But the Blight Lord Terminators, which are just your regular Terminator squads, are a lot more interesting for me. They really do have the option to pack in some serious heat. The Flail Corruption, as mentioned on the Plague Marines, is available for a Blight Lord Terminator.
Oh, that's why I like them.
And they can have 2 in a squad of 10. Now, D3 hits...
Can you not have 2 in a squad of 5?
No.
Limitations.
D3 hits on 1 attack is okay, but on 2 attacks, now that is a thing.
Yeah.
And obviously with the splash damage and everything,
they can take out.
They're gonna wreck.
A lot of guys.
And obviously, because it's a Plague Marine, it's all Plague weaponry, so you're getting rerolls and things everywhere.
They really feel tough reading this codex on the battlefield now. They're going to be hard to move. They are literally the stubborn stain of the 41st millennium.
Yeah. Need some Dettol.
I was going to say that, you beat me to it.
So yeah, standard Terminator stats, but with the addition of being Nurgly, so toughness 5 and disgusting again.
With a 2+, I mean, and coming in with 2 wounds.
Yeah.
You,
and
2 damage coming through is the only real way to be dealing with those fast, but still you've got to get through that 2+ armor save, and invulnerable save, and a disgusting resilient.
And this little rule here, Aura of Rust. Each time you make a wound roll of a 6+ for any unit's melee weapons, increase the AP.
Ooh, cheeky.
Takes a 2 to a 3, etc., etc. Which makes them hit even harder.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, I think they're great. And Cataphract's armor as well. Cataphract's armor everywhere.
They only move 4, but they can deep strike, can't they?
They can. It does slow them down a bit, but who cares? You get a 4+ invuln.
Just deep strike, even if you don't make your charge, you're like,
you're close.
I'm hard as nails. Just shoot me, I'll be fine.
And we're still in the elite section, and we've still got another bunch of entries. Hellbrutes, Beasts and Nurgles are in. Possessed still.
I was disappointed,
we're not sure,
guys. You know, I was hoping we'd get a little bit of a point change or an extra toughness, especially. I know it's a Chaos Codex and they put them in, but I was hoping, you know, give them an extra toughness. I mean, 2 wounds is good. We're trying to find a way to use the Possessed because I wasted like 75 quid on that Possessed unit. I want to do something with it.
Yeah, we'd like to see Possessed actually being working really well.
We did find a character in here actually that will buff those on top of Fabius Bile, making them quite effective with a -2 on their attack. No, -2 AP, multiple attacks, which is terrible. But what character was it all? It was a psychic that then gave them
+1 strength and toughness.
Yeah, and then stack that on top of what Fabius Bile gives them.
Yeah, see, we're stuck at the minute with Possessed having to use Fabius Bile. That's the only way we can make them really, really useful, in our opinion, anyway. Again, what do you guys think?
Someone let us know.
Someone let us know. We're missing something here.
That month of Nurgle thing, the month of Nurgle review we did. Like I said, that was a lot of bits went into making those, and then they're just not as good. I'd rather take a hell of a lot of spawns now.
Yeah. So, some of the new stuff. The Blight Haulers. I think they're like little bubble cars.
Which ones are those?
They're the little bubble car ones.
The ones that look like the the fetid bloat drone with I think it was a bit of a lazy design, but I would love to make some jet bikes out of those.
Yeah, they're kind of cool though, and the mechanics are pretty decent. Although they're expensive, but they do offer you some ranged heavy support. Which
is that the one with the mortar cannon?
No, that's a bigger one. These do offer you some ranged fire though, which which is lacking in the rest of the book. I did notice there was a serious lack of anti-tank options from the rest of the sections. So if you want your firepower, you're looking at things like the Blight Haulers and bloat drones.
It's in the fast section as well, which is surprising for heavy firepower.
Yeah, it's nice. I think it fits with the Death Guard thing. You know, having the fast stuff being your guns rather than the heavy stuff.
I was pleased to see that the fetid bloat drone now has options, because in that battle report we did, I had no idea what I was doing with that thing. It didn't seem to have a purpose, but now we can have the heavy blight launcher. Range 36, assault 6, strength 6, AP -2, D3 damage. Yeah, I guess I'll be equipping all of them with that and just whizzing around the battlefield.
Shooting stuff.
Shooting anything that's a bit of a problem. I mean, I've got, was it movement 10? Then range 36, that thing's going to be nippy and very annoying once you've equipped it with that.
Yeah. And with being an assault weapon, it doesn't suffer modifiers to hit from shooting.
It's ballistic skill 4, so you're averaging 3 hits.
Yeah.
Strength 6, AP -2. You even take out light tanks.
And that's what you need. You need something that will crack transport. The Blight Haulers offer similar sort of stuff. You've got the missile launchers and multi-melters attached to them. They don't suffer modifiers for moving and firing heavy weapons, which is very, very handy.
Let's carry on, mate. I'm just sorting out the camera a bit.
And obviously, as always in a book, we've both got discussing resilience.
That's almost straight across the board.
Yeah.
I really wish the Possessed could have got that.
yeah.
Some Nurgle Possessed with Disgusting Resilient, then they'd be worth 22 points apiece.
The Blight Hollows also offer cover. Mobile
Do
cover.
they?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Units that are entirely within 7 inches of a mephitic blight hollow gain the benefit of cover when making armour saves. What's not to like about that? Cover what moves around the table.
Reminds me of something we'll be talking about later, the Wall of Flies.
Yeah.
Which was, I found that really exciting. It feels very Death Guard-y, and they should have had it anyway. Now we just got, what's that, the Chaos Land Raiders.
Yeah.
Plague Crawler, that's what the other new one.
The other new one is a Plague Crawler, which to my eyes looks a bit like a Vindicator, but with a gun stuck to its roof instead of the front. Now that is your proper heavy firepower. You've got the other stuff like Land Raider and Defiler, what have you, but the Plague Crawler is a new toy. What?
It looks okay actually, as
Yeah.
Death Guard models go.
It's definitely interesting, and it can pack some real firepower as well. It's got some big guns on there.
Don't think Games Workshop will put any mutations or anything on it, but you can customise that work yourself.
Yeah, so, there's always scope for making your own bits and pieces on a Chaos Army.
I'd like to change the cannon so it's a big mouth that just spews firepower or something.
Yeah.
Then it's starting to sound a bit like the Exocrine from thingy.
From Nids, yeah. And obviously, last but by no means least, we have the big man himself,
Mortarion.
Mortarion.
This book was the first time I got to see the model properly, and damn, I would have a lot of fun painting him.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about his rules because it's probably been done to death by now.
Oh, we're not talking about Mortarion.
No, we're going to talk about his figure.
Okay.
If I can find a picture of it.
Put some spin on this Codex review.
Yeah.
His stats are great though, from what I remember.
He is a beast. I ain't going to deny that. But, yeah, like I say, he's been done to death. So let's talk about his figure now. There we go. Look at that.
It is a lovely piece of sculpting.
What is nice is they've given him the option of having his weapons in either hand.
Yeah.
They've made an ambidextrous kit, which is rare in itself. The staff can be silence, his weapon, can be put in either hand, and his guns can be put in either hand as well. You give him two guns.
That is very different.
Which is nice. So you can make them left or right-handed.
I think the sculpting on the gun itself is awesome, and the wings.
Yeah, and the little angel dudes, little plague bearers hanging around.
I don't like those.
I think they're cool.
They are, but the packing up of your Mortarion when you've painted him to a real high standard.
Yeah, but I think they're just a really fun feature, because the bloke is quite a grim-looking model. You know, it's not cartoony at all.
Can you get a look at his face in this lighting at all?
There is a zoomed-in photo.
That is bloody brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. That is an amazing sculpt.
Yeah.
It looks like he should.
Yeah, the bloke's going to be an absolute terror, and the movement on the figure himself, it does look like he's flying about, even down to the sorceress sort of file coming off his robes.
I'm wondering, are the robes and the stones on the base, you can see the stones on the base, are they actually part of the base, or have they been decorated as thus?
Yeah, the stones, I believe, are the join, so there will be, like on a I should imagine it'll be like on a Chaos Lord fig, a piece what you put on. I don't know for certain. That's not
Possibly pegs for extra bonding.
Yeah, I've not actually looked at the. I've not actually looked at any unboxing videos or anything, so I can't say for certain.
Not neither about it actually.
But I do like the little demonic angel things. A nice spin on the cyber cherubim, what you see on some of the Imperial stuff.
I guess it kind of makes sense when you look at it like that. It's sort of a mockery of the Astartes. It's like, yeah, you've got these, well, we're just mocking you by doing the same thing just to really get under your skin, because we know you hate that.
Yeah. But yeah, he's a very imposing model, and so much detail work. I really do love his armour. The armour itself, it looks like he's been dragged out of a heresy.
He looks right,
yeah.
if you ask me, especially when you look at that close-up for the face. He really looks like he's definitely the leader of the Death Guard.
Yeah, the bloke is fearsome, and I think we've really done a bang-up job on getting him right, getting that imagery just so. So, thumbs up there. We approve of this fig.
We need to get us a Mortarion now.
Yeah, damn right. I'll be the first to admit, when I first saw the photos online, I wasn't keen.
They weren't.
They didn't take very good photos.
And it was on like shops and stuff like that, so
Yeah.
you're only getting a small zoomed in thing.
So I didn't like the photos what I saw, but I did hold out for a proper photo, and I'm glad I did.
Props to whoever took that photo.
Yeah, it's
It
brilliant.
must have been hard to capture that with the lighting and everything.
Yeah.
All the bits. It's
Yeah.
a really good photo. And the paint job, whoever's done that as well.
The paint job's great. It really
I love
is.
the face paint job.
Yeah.
That amount of detail in that space, all those colour blends, someone spent a lot of time doing that.
I'd still like to see him in white rather than green.
Oh, the old colours.
Yeah, pre-heresy Death Guard colours. But
Well, if we get him, he'll be going in the old bone colour.
yeah, I would definitely like to see him in white because I think that would really stand out, get loads of streak and grime and stuff like that.
What colour would you do the wings? You'd have to change the colour there for the contrast.
I'd probably do them in green.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, just reverse it. But that's my take on it. I'd love to get some streak and grime effects on there as well. I think it would really take it well.
I can just see that one being a really fiddly to paint.
Oh yeah, well it'd be a lot of fun.
Maybe sub-assembly. I don't know, I'll have to watch an unboxing and come back to that one.
Yeah. So that's Mortarion. Obviously, double R, as expected. And on to the stratagems. Oh, here we go. Now, as you can imagine, we share a bunch with the standard Chaos. Because, let's face it, they are Chaos Marines.
And then they have their own unique ones.
Yeah.
Some of them are very, very interesting and characterful.
I really like Putrid Detonation, the guaranteed explosion of one of your vehicles. So like, that vehicle, I need that vehicle to blow up. Pop, off it goes.
That's cool.
Yeah, you just killed it, I want it to blow up. Happy days. Can't go wrong with that. Obviously for sharing Blasphemous Machines and Fire Frenzy and even Chaos Familiar with the standard Chaos Marines.
What's he do again?
Chaos Familiar is just repick a spell.
That can be very useful if you pick the wrong spells at the beginning of the game. You've come across an enemy that's no use to me. We're changing that.
Yep.
Awesome.
It's a little bit more restricted than the Chaos variant because you only get to choose the Nurgle spells, whereas the Chaos one gets to choose from the God and the Chaos
But
spells.
it can be very, very
But it's
effective.
still a very powerful tool when needed.
Especially if you didn't know what army you were coming up against.
Yeah.
Oh well, this one will be more useful for that army, so switch it. That's a really cool effect. And my favourite so far in the strategies that I've read, Blight Bombardment. One command point, either in shooting or Overwatch, the entire unit launches Blight grenades.
Yeah.
A grenade, D6. That's a lot of firepower.
And that fell in really nicely with one of the characters from the Elite section. Because he buffs
the one
them.
with the, it does, yeah.
Yeah, he buffs with grenades, which is tasty.
What's his name? He's carrying all the things on his back. He's a new model as well.
Yeah. My favourite is the Dead Walk again.
Ah, yeah.
It's the Poxwalker one. And what that does is you play it on a unit of Poxwalkers, and any time anything what isn't a Poxwalker dies. Oh, sorry, any infantry what's not a Poxwalker dies within 7 inches of a Poxwalker from that unit. You get a Poxwalker. Friend or foe?
And it doesn't even have to be killed by a Poxwalker.
No.
we're using that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That is brilliant. Them Poxwalkers, which are already annoying as hell,
They kept your Terminators busy for most of that game.
get bigger and bigger and bigger just because stuff near them dies. Not anything to do with them.
What we can do is we can get a couple of Blight launchers or Blight splitters, the 9-inch flamers with the AP modifier, walk up behind or around the Poxwalkers and just get rid of a bunch of guys and just keep increasing the output of Poxwalkers. That is cool.
And this has probably already been pointed out, but I'm going to mention it anyway, just for the sake of completeness. Cloud of Flies. Now, this works beautifully on Mortarion, because obviously he's such a big model, you can't not shoot him. You can target him whenever you want, because he's got 18 wounds. With Cloud of Flies,
Is he?
yeah, 18 wounds. With Cloud of Flies, he now becomes a character.
Well, you can't shoot him unless he's the closest.
Yeah. Which makes him even more annoying to shift.
Would you play him at the front or behind a line anyway?
If
Regardless of that, how would you, looking at Mortarion, how would you play him on your battlefield?
I would use Death Shrouds to keep him alive. I think that's as common. I think that's a common
where in a stratagem would you have him behind like a couple of lines, backing stuff up with buffs, or charging into a?
I would put him on the
damage?
front line. Get him up with where his auras and everything are going to start causing the most problems straight away.
Yeah.
I would have him right up the front, slamming into the enemy as fast as possible.
Make the most of his points.
Make the most of his points. It's 400 odd points, so he's not cheap, but
18 wounds.
he's a
And
bruiser.
disgusting resilient.
Yeah. And when you can make him not be target, not be able to be targeted.
How many command points is that?
It's 1. You can use it every turn.
You want a Taliman in there as well, just in case.
Just in case you get it back. Ooh, result.
Thing is, what I like about the Taliman is, those who don't know, on 2 dice, 7 is your average number.
Yeah.
So it'll actually come up more
Than you
than you think it will.
Yeah. And then we're getting on to the relics. The one I've noticed, which is particularly tasty, is the suppurating plate. Gives a model 2-up armour, so it's handy for blokes, like your malignant playcaster who doesn't have a Terminator armour safe.
Well, you just bung that on him and that's that.
Just give him that, he's upgrade his armour. And he reflects wounds on a 4+, whenever he passes a save in a fight.
That's a good call, I might put that in that list actually. How many points is that?
None.
None?
Relics don't cost anything. You just buy the weapon and you
They
replace
used
it.
to.
Yeah, because it's because that's a suit of armour, it just replaces his old suit of armour, which is already factored into his cost.
Oh, that's definitely what he's having.
So it's rude not to, isn't it?
Well, we're slowly working on this death card list as we go.
I
mean, we had a Terminator before in Sorcerer, in Terminator Armour, Power Stave. The points cost now to give him a 2+ save and all those other benefits, 110 points.
Yeah, 110 points, 2+ save as well. Result.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost anything because of the only time it costs more to get the get additional relics is when you actually use a stratagem to buy relics in your army.
What's the limit on relics?
Normally it's 1.
Mm.
If you use a stratagem, you can get an additional 1 relic for 1 command point.
Yeah.
Or an additional 2 relics for 3 command points.
So
it costs you command points to get relics.
See, I don't know about that. So that's pre-game, isn't it?
That's pre-game stuff, yeah.
I'll have to have a think about that actually.
The spells, well, largely actually, there's a lot of mortal wound stuff in the Plague Marine spells.
That'll show better on camera.
So, because it's the first one I found, Curse of a Leper. Pick the nearest target, roll 7 dice, beat your enemy's toughness.
Yeah.
For every time you beat the toughness, mortal wound. Now, with Mortarion's aura, he drops your toughness.
Yeah.
Makes it easier.
There's a lot of spare mortal wounds kicking around.
They
with
do
the
kick
Death
out a
Guard.
lot of mortal wounds randomly.
I really like that. It's like the disease is just absolutely
Yeah.
spreading. And when you get your codexes, guys, and you read through it, you'll see exactly what we mean there.
And then you've got that. Blades of Putrefaction. Add one to your wound rolls. If you roll a 7, you dish out mortal wounds as well.
Again, with the more mortal wounds.
Yeah.
They're really good at that.
But that stacks up well with Veterans of a Long War, which is an additional +1 to wound.
Yeah. So it's like, what, +2 to wound?
Yeah. Making that 7 a lot easier.
Yeah. A hell of a lot easier.
Yeah. Now you've got Miasma of Pestilence, which is the same as in the Chaos Marine book. Straight up -1 to hit. What can you say? What more do you need to say about that?
No, nothing.
Nothing really.
That's pretty cool.
Much the same with Putrescent Vitality. +1 strength and toughness on a unit.
Ooh. Oh, that's the one we were talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's just a reason to have the Malignant Plague Caster and the Possessed
Yeah.
in the same army. Especially with that 2+ armor save now. We're getting somewhere with this list. We'll
Yeah.
have to do another battle report with these. In fact, I'm supposed to be playing Leon this Friday.
So, yeah.
In fact, Leon, don't watch this video. We're not using any of those things.
This is something we've picked out as a particularly cheeky one because it works really well on Poxwalkers.
Yeah.
So obviously you've got your Poxwalkers with Typhus because that's rude not to.
Yeah.
Make them
It's rude not to have Typhus.
Putrescent Vitality gives them strength and toughness 5. And if you're being really naughty and you've got Fabius Bile,
You can have also buffed those while you're at it anyway.
yeah, which just starts getting silly. And obviously at that point,
There's also that command point stratagem to increase
exactly.
more Poxwalkers. And in fact, at that point, the Poxwalkers that come back into that unit, shouldn't they still have
They'll
their
have the
stats?
new stats, yeah.
Oh, that's cheeky.
It is quite unpleasant. But hey, what can you do? It's just something I noticed and I thought it was absolutely hilarious.
And that's what I like about the Death Guard. Everything really stacks well together, and you can strategize off. You can sort of have all your stuff on the battlefield, but unless your opponent knows the army, you can really have all your bubbles, circles, and buffs set out in a way they're not going to be aware of it until the Plague Marines just start moving forward.
Now I've left this one to last because I think this was a bit of a letdown.
Gift of Contagion.
Gift and Contagion. It's what used to be called a hex or a malediction. So you target an enemy unit and you get a random effect.
Can't seem to get that one to focus. Sorry guys, you'll have to read it out for 'em.
It's on a 1 or 2, it's -1 attack, which, let's face it, against most things, it's not going to make any difference because I've got 1 attack, because it's to a minimum of 1. On a 2, -1 strength. Your Death Guard, your toughness 5. That's rarely going to be useful.
Yeah.
And so the only one you want in really
-1 toughness.
is the -1 toughness. So you've got a 1 in 3 chance of getting it. I can't see myself ever using that spell.
I tried to use it last time, it didn't really
doesn't
come
work.
up. No.
No.
I was trying to use it on your Terminators and on your other Marines for the Poxwalker horde to get bigger. It just wasn't going
It's
off.
just not worth it. You're better off just buffing your own stuff or just dropping mortal wounds out.
There is plenty of ways now to buff them.
Yeah.
I like the Taliban, I like the new grenade guy that buffs the blight grenades. I can't remember exactly what he changes about them, but he makes them either do more damage or extra strength to the weapon or something like that.
Yeah, it makes them that bit more nasty anyway. But yeah, that's our first impressions of it. But we've not had a proper chance to have a good look through it. But we thought we'd just share the moment with you guys as well.
As always.
Yeah, but it is a solid book. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun to use.
It really feels like we can take all of the Death Guard off the shelf now and make it do something on the battlefield rather than everything being independent. It's going to be a unified army.
Get some of them little mini HQs out from the elite slots and really start pumping out those auras.
Yeah.
It's going to be It's going to be. It's very interesting for the Death Guard and Chaos players. I am hoping. Come on, GW, do us a solid now. Bring some Xenos out. We want some Xenos factions.
We definitely do. I don't know when the Orc one's coming out, or the Nids, because we've got a Nid army around.
Yeah, I'd be happy with any of the Xenos factions. Eldar, which are due out soon, allegedly.
Well, when you think about it, the 2 armies that came out in the Dark Imperium box set have now had their books, so thinking about it, they're probably going to throw out something fresh now. We
have had a lot of books, bearing in mind it's only been out since June. 5 armyless codexes already?
Yeah, I think so.
Marines, Grey Knights, Chaos, Death Guard, and Admech.
Oh, they had theirs as well.
Yeah, they've had theirs, or it's on pre-order, one of the 2. It's definitely been advertised. So there's a lot of interesting stuff, but we want some more. I want to see some Xenos stuff, even if it's just Tau or Necrons or whatever. I want to see some more Xenos stuff out there, because it's about time the non-power armor guys got a bit of love.
Be interesting to see how they make those all play together, especially the Nids, because when it comes to bubbles, they really nailed it in that one with the buffs.
The bubble thing. I do like the way the auras are going. The inclusion of it really adds a lot of versatility for your characters, and not just straight up fighters now, but we do other things.
Like back in the old editions, it's like, I've got this captain and he's got this sword and this sword, I'm just charging him into anything I can find.
I'm going to slam him at the nearest model you can look at.
Now it makes you think, maybe I hold him back because he's going to make all these guys tougher now. And maybe move that guy over there, he's going to make them tougher, or wait for the moment to make a charge or do something else with some sorcery. A lot more stratagem.
A lot more use in the characters.
Right, I think
we've run out of things to say.
Run out of things to say.
There is a couple of things actually. I'm going to do a bit of a shout out to Daneham Dice Asylum, which is Doncaster's local club. They are holding a tournament in November. Hopefully we'll be able to get some footage of that.
Yep, hopefully.
So I am attending that one. Probably going to be holding up the scoreboard.
You're going for your wooden spoon?
I'm going for another wooden spoon. Let's go for it. There also is another tournament in the near future in Wakefield, which is another place close by to us, and I'm hoping to attend that, which I should do well in because it involves beer drinking.
Oh, well, yeah.
There's a prize for most beer drunk.
You're just going for that, aren't you? Good call, mate.
So yes, hopefully we'll be getting some more footage of tournaments, and I'll be waffling about various things we've done up.
And there should be more battle reports coming out soon.
Yeah,
it's just a case of us getting
painted
armies, guys. Because obviously you don't want to watch battle reports with unpainted stuff. But as you know, we're busy. We've just finished the vehicles mini-series, and we'll have a battle report for that coming out. But that's something completely different. Yeah. So keep tuned for that.
We are hopefully going to try and get some of the friends of the channel to come down as well and have battles once they've got their armies done, because it just means that you're not having to watch me and Dodge all the time.
Yeah, and maybe someone will know some of the rules for a change.
I can't see that happening. No. Anyway guys, thanks for watching.
Right, we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.
Catch you later, guys.
Ta-ra.